for that length of game.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
I mean,
we can get knocked on
for
that.
any length of game. I don't know if has there been?
Well, there's
maybe
been
some
a couple
long
of
Zeus games.
some of those
I'm not
3-hour
sure about
games
this.
that we had before. Probably
For the length of the game, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's pretty
Fendi has to be feeling good now as well. And going into a game like this for FN, where you just played this Slark and he had this spectacular performance, he didn't die until what, the 60-minute mark?
Yeah, and even then it wasn't.
And then they still lose. Going into the next game like this,
interesting.
it has to be a bit heavy for him.
Through again. Sorry, I interrupt, but there's a new game going.
Yeah, draft 2's up and running. Thanks, Jacob.
Phoenix first pick, complete change of tunes compared to what we've seen throughout the tournament.
Kind of a block pick too. Takes it away from Sanika.
Navi have now become OG.
they have metamorphosed into OG. They are the yellow version of OG.
Not surprisingly, picking up the Bat Rider.
The Bat Rider's back again.
Yeah.
Now, have these two teams scrimmed each other, and the Elder Titan was to be expected from Vega after the Phoenix pick? No, that's a bit greedy.
I have no idea. Early Alchemist pick.
Hasn't always been the most effective, has it?
It's kind of scary to pick Alchemists into Bat Rider this early, I feel.
I think an AA pick would be pretty good here for Navi.
I think they'll ban it second phase.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, Navi are one of those teams that actually do run the AA occasionally. Art style plays that hero.
Well, they've got 2 chances to ban it and 1 chance to pick it to take it away as well, so 3 bans effectively.
They just need to make sure that the Bat Rider doesn't get so much. Like, their supports were a little weak last game, Venge and Abba.
Yeah, and this is why I feel like this opening is a bit scary for Vega, because the Bat Rider, if he's mid, he matches up really well against the Alchemist. The Phoenix doesn't really do all that much to the Bat Rider. And yeah, if he's offlane, even if he's offlane, the Phoenix is not super scary.
10 seconds remaining.
Have we seen Navi lead with an Elder Titan first pick before?
Not to my memory.
Have they played it before?
I don't remember. I've seen a lot of their games, and I don't recall the last time they picked Elder Titan at any phase.
So Neko with
I swear to God,
I mean,
every game.
I feel like this is just a replay of him just sitting in his chair.
This guy doesn't sleep, this is how he rests.
Draft phase, like now we chill.
Vega squadrons turn to battle.
Simple so.
Yeah,
Turn to
understandable.
Yeah, you can justify that ban.
Yeah, it was alright, game 1.
He had a decent game.
So Navi bans out the Dazzle themselves. We've seen them play some Huskar. I don't think that would be too bad of a pick.
5 seconds remaining.
You can see Artstyle just thinking, guys, there's Chen and Enchantress in the pool.
Yeah, I think it's hard for them to run that though. It's not the greatest up against Phoenix, Chen.
No Alchemist for that matter.
Yeah. SD is very nice
They
against
are
the
warming
Alchemist.
up for a terrible pick here.
Potentially, or it's just against the Alchemist. Having the Soul Catcher against him when he's in alt form, and he's gonna regen fast, but if he just gets bursted, it doesn't matter so much. Also, the disruption against an Alchemist with Radiance.
Yeah, and
now with the buff,
well.
it's 14 seconds at max level, so having those 2 Alchemists running around for a long time.
We saw Alliance combo the Terrorblade with the Shadow Demon yesterday.
Reserve time.
Wouldn't it be more of like a setup for Dendi to actually get a kill on Alchemist in mid? Can they put a kill lane in mid with SD roam?
Potentially. I mean, I'm thinking the Elder Titan and the SD will do a lot of stuff early game together. Disruption into a Stomp or something along those lines, and then you can body block people in.
Soul Catcher plus Natural Order?
That hurts. Yeah, Vega don't really want to go for a 1-core lineup this game. When you face up against both Bat Rider and Shadow Demon, you need to have multiple cores who can deal physical damage, or just damage in general, and who can scale into the later portions of the game.
Still a Slaughter in the pool.
Slaughter.
Navi's turn to pick.
That was me doing the milk, by the way, saying there's a Slaughter.
Okay. If it makes you happy.
10 seconds remaining.
So if they do want the Terror Blades, which they do not, they would have to pick it then.
Yeah.
Well, Lifestealer makes sense. We talked about it last game when they picked up the Bat Rider. Combos pretty well as well. You don't always need the Riggy to run around for you.
Yeah, they have the Infest Bomb. It's very good. One of the counters against this Alchemist. Also pretty good up against the Phoenix. You can kill the egg kind of fast. But I think they're gonna focus on the Alchemist, killing him, and then the fight is gonna be kind of difficult for Vega. They're on. Still think we're looking at Dendy 0 last.
There's a lot of heroes that we'd love to see Dendy on right now.
Yeah.
Tinker, Wind
Tinker
Ranger.
wouldn't be bad. I don't know about the Wind Ranger.
I've called for this Wind Ranger pick all tournament. He's gonna do it at some point, right?
If they're not, if they don't have the Slaughter, I feel like it's unlikely.
Yeah,
You guys always ran that.
We did, yeah, we did. Wind Ranger Slaughter. That's the stuff.
That was you guys' specialty.
PJ special. Actually, I stole it from that Slasher guy, sort of. To be fair.
From who?
The Slasher, the guy with the Danish guy.
Oh,
Makes videos.
Slasher.
Yeah.
I just call him Slasher.
Slash, but it's spelled wrong, right?
Yeah, but that's his fault.
Okay. You still say fair enough.
10 seconds remaining.
Dang, last 2 bands.
5 seconds remaining.
Where are we going, Melody?
I think we're gonna see a Tinker ban.
Really? I wouldn't be that scared of a Tinker.
Do you feel like there's some cheese coming in this final pick?
Vega might ban Tinker. I feel like could be warranted. They don't have the greatest heroes to deal with that right now.
I don't really feel like there's like one hero that could be like cheesy aside from Meepo or Huskar, but then he doesn't play either of those.
Yeah, neither of these
Rude,
teams
yeah.
play. Navi play a bit of Huskar, but without the Dazzle, I don't see it. Also, they already have the Nake, so very unlikely.
They probably want something that can punish the Alchemist in the middle lane, and since Timbersaw is banned out, maybe
Invoke is still free.
Still like less Lina, I think, in particular with the Shadow Demon. A lot of bursts.
it's not a bad idea. I don't think it'll happen though.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen either.
Invoker makes sense as well.
Tinker does make sense. Invoker potentially not the best with these two supports. I feel
Shadow Demon
they're
setup.
mid-game.
He can go into an Exort Invoker.
It's okay. The mid game is gonna be a bit slow unless the bat has a good start.
Vega could also just run Alchemist in a safe lane if they're worried about the matchup too. So maybe want a flexible last pick.
Navi could even run something like a Juggernaut actually.
No, it's banned.
They can't run a Juggernaut. It's just... I wish that Mel could do my voice so I could play him when I say
that's
something
just me doing Pycat's voice. Don't worry, guys.
Okay, so Bristle DP both gone. Vega's pick. What ties this all together?
Interesting Bristle ban. It is a Wind Ranger, guys.
I don't know. I still like the Weaver Slark. I still think they don't have that much lockdown. Pretty much only the Bat Rider at this point.
Vega might run the offlane Slaughter.
Yeah.
They could. He's gonna have a really tough lane if he does that though. He's gonna have to go jungle, and then that forces the Alchemist to be playing against a lot of support, so it's scary.
Nope.
This is better solution.
Wow.
Although I am a bit worried for this Clockwork.
Yeah.
Disruption into wounds, stomp. This is a tough lane for Clockwork. Very hard.
So Ben, real quick, Wind Ranger, Tinker, Invoker, which one? That's not quick, Ben.
Invoker, I'd say.
Okay. Helle?
Tinker.
Paul?
Definitely a win runner.
Milk.
Wind Ranger. I think
There are none of the above.
I think it's likely that it's the Invoker, but I'd like.
Yeah, I think it's probably the Invoker as well.
Should be something completely different.
Yep. Shadow Fiend.
Or we can just do Shadow Fiend. Yeah, because
Why not?
Why not? Hasn't been good for a
Into
year,
a
but
Clockwork as well.
let's do it. Malk. Best draft.
I'm leaning towards Vega this time around, but Na'Vi makes most things work.
Let's see whether we can see some Na'Vi magic then. Try cat. Which way?
I can't vote against the SF. The hero is garbage.
It's against your religion, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
I
deadly.
can't vote against SF.
Okay.
That was like our Meepo fallacy, though. I saw the Meepo was like, I gotta vote for that team.
Yeah.
They got crushed.
Very quickly.
I'll go with Na'Vi too.
Alright, clean sweep for Na'Vi down here on the panel. Let's find out what our commentators think as we head into game number 2.
10 seconds remaining.
Thank you very much, Red Eye. Indeed, Na'Vi Vega Squadron. Na'Vi one win up so far in this series. The 2 finishing picks, something a little bit different. Mag Clockwork, Dendi SF. What's your thoughts, guys?
Is Clockwork a hero again, Blitz? I think I've asked you this question before.
Guys, I'm really
Pretty
surprised.
sure the answer was no.
Yeah, the entire panel voted with Na'Vi, which surprises me because they're often so wrong, but this time they're going to be right.
You seem pretty confident. Explain your thought process here. What do you not like about what Vegas brought to the fray against Na'Vi?
Look, I desperately want Clockwork to still be a hero. The hero's like so fun to watch. The skill shots, the rocket across the map, but it's not a thing. Maybe it is though. Maybe this is like the one game for it because there is a Shadow Fiend, and that was also a hero I didn't think was in the meta.
Yeah, there was, you knew that Na'Vi had to pick up some sort of, like, carry style mid, and the Clockwork, I guess, is going to be effective no matter what was picked up. Because we were talking about, like, SF, Tinker, Invoker. I don't know about Invoker, but they, like, at least the Clockwork would have been able to threaten that mid core and slow down the progression of Na'Vi. But it's still a really dangerous lane for him. He's a hero that can't jungle at all, so if they actually shut him out, he doesn't get his level 6, he never threatens the mid, the Clockwork just kind of spins out and doesn't do anything.
Yeah, Na'Vi should all-in commit for this bottom run.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to.
And you missed up.
Alright, who's gonna win it?
General, Alstar. One disruption is going to buy some space to try and get the bounty ring crushed as well from no one. Trying to maintain it, and Vega will get it. They'll be able to grab both of them now in the retreat. The stacks and Napalm stick it up, and they'll find one kill. Solo has 6 stacks, and then Vega trying to turn, looking for Dendy. The Ferret Fire Pop doesn't keep it alive. Dendy's going to fall. Solo magic missile onto Alstar. Can they get the Shadow Demon away? They can, and Sineko finds himself a double kill. 5 stacks onto Shoma. They'll give themselves a third. 3 for 1, and Alstar kiting up no one. He's got a disruption if he needs it. So Na'Vi looks like they should be able to find themselves a 4th kill here. Indeed they should, and they do. 4-1 to open up the game here for Na'Vi. What a way to start.
There is no way a Bounty Rune is worth going into that fight.
I don't know about that.
Wait, are they not done?
Oh god.
Are they not done?
Sioma?
Oh my.
Hello?
Okay. Right, General, he's level 2 and he hasn't touched the lane yet. Arstyle sets this up.
No,
They can't
Back
get.
away,
I mean,
back
my
away.
goodness. So, General, 1 minute in, he's 2-0-3 on the Batrider.
Just fighting into Batrider in those full 4 versus 4s is always a dangerous idea because you might be able to win like the initial part, maybe you even get the first blood, but eventually that sticky napalm will destroy your team fight. You just can't turn, you can't run, and you just get right click down.
Yeah, Sticky Napalm's one of the best spells in the game at those engagements.
Needs to be careful. Look at Arstyle. See how Crosby wants to come in. Is him and Dendy kind of Dendy? Oh my goodness.
Oh, he's dead now.
He dead? Oh, maybe not.
Oh, he's subbing.
Oh, it's not enough
Okay.
damage to cancel the sound, Dendy. Oh my goodness, what is going on this game?
A lot of stuff. I mean,
Not
okay,
really
so
sure.
you know that Na'Vi is to take that fight. That's why I advocated. I said you take that fight no matter what, because you're gonna probably lose one hero, and it ended up being Dendy, because he doesn't have any offensive abilities. Like he scaled up the soul so he could kill the ward, but you know that FN is gonna provide even less in that engagement. Like FN can kind of run around, and they've got 2 stuns, but Venge is really only gonna be able to get 1 off reliably, and you've got so many different ways to fight on the side of Na'Vi.
I mean, but as we just saw from the stats, it's a pretty incredible stat there. The fact that it's been picked 7 times, Alchemist, 100% win rate here at this LAN.
I think FN is oh, never mind, he's got the counter ward in place. I thought that was Dire side, but never mind. Sioma lays it down at the right time.
FN's got to be so happy.
Dear.
He's got a full bracer already. Like this is not the typical bat start where you just start with 800 HP. Like how is Vega supposed to contest this off lane?
They really can't. Not anymore. Especially with the extra helping hand that Seneco's been providing. They're just leaving the Clockwork alone against Lifestealer because Lifestealer's going to win that 1v1 matchup. So now they can get an additional pick off, maybe on solo.
No one with a crush to hold Artstar back. He's under the tower as well with the wave of terror, and that's going to find themselves a kill in Fat Vega, and they can't kill solo. Seneco maybe diving a bit too deep. No one again with the crush to hold General in place. Can't quite find the kill on solo, and General going relatively deep with the Firefly though, chasing down no one. Can't get away with that, or maybe he can.
They can just kite him.
One more touch would do it. Can't quite get close enough for it. As Vega, solo, and no one keep themselves just alive underneath the tower. The Spirit is actually going to walk through.
It would click on both of them. He can actually get both kills potentially, but
the stick charges, keeping no one alive. Mid lane, Dendy going ham onto FN. I mean, it really is all kicking off here in game 2. Overall, Na'Vi, they did overextend a bit on that bottom lane, losing a hero, but still maintaining overall control of and dominance of these lanes.
Yeah, they still get General, like, they push both the heroes out because they were both one hit away from dying.
Yeah.
So General still gets all this free farm. This is going to be one of the faster Blink Daggers that you'll see on Bat. He can even, like, delay it and go like the drums or Boots of Travel if he wants to and just try and go for the efficiency.
I feel like this is one of those games where you don't even bother analyzing. You just kind of like watch it. People are just running at each other non-stop. Everyone's like down for the pace of the game. You know, it's like, who's gonna stop running at each other first? And I mean, the credit to Vega, they're not afraid. They're just like, we'll keep fighting you.
Not sure if that's gonna end up on them winning the laning phase, so
it's okay
they're
though.
just gonna keep going.
They'll gain Navi's respect. And in a lot of ways, that's the most important thing.
Oh, Dandy, the haste rune. He's come up top to try and help to try up at a smart move from Mag, just straight up TP back to base. But the chance of being taken down by the wandering SF.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Well, I mean, what's the play here for Vega? It's kind of all kicked off early on. How do you kind of regain control amidst this chaos?
I think if you're Vega, you just let your Alchemist do Alchemist things. I think the worst mistake you can possibly make in any game is to underestimate what this hero can bring for you.
Artstar will disrupt himself here by Vega. They'll move in, surround him, and with a crush, no one. Finds himself a nice pick, punishing the positioning of Artstar.
Vega just need to wait for their Clockwork to come online to be able to create the space for FN to, as Blitz said, do the Alchemist things. They can roam around with their two supports. Their ganking duo is pretty strong, but the doesn't seem like Dendy's gonna be caught out. They just don't have a leading stuns. The Vengeful Spirit's a little bit limited. Dendy just keeps the right amount of distance.
Yeah, he does get hit by the dive, but even then, you're still ganking for an Alchemist. This is one of those heroes that you kind of despise ganking for as a support because you know he provides nothing in the gank. Like, he can drop the acid spray, but that's about it.
I mean, looking at this mid lane as well, is this expected for Denny to be this far ahead? 32-13 against FN's 17 for 0 denies.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure after that start, it's perfectly fine. Plus, it's a Shadow Fiend. You can take... The problem is that SF isn't necessarily the best laner. Oh, Mag's gonna steal the rune? He's not necessarily the best laner anymore because he can't fall back on going to the jungle like he used to, but it's still a good laner just because you can zone out every single melee hero with raises.
We continue to try and be aggressive at the bottom lane. Gotta be a little bit careful though with the combination of Phoenix and Slaughter. They can actually kill the Bat Rider.
Yeah. Chain stuns here with the Sun Ray coming through as well. General, can he get himself out across the tree line? Will survive. Shoma himself nearly falling down. And General will keep himself alive as Vega can't quite finish it off. Artstar.
The Bracer makes the difference.
Come for a bit of a wander into the jungle. I mean, the Magic Missile will still fly out, no one moving in. And Artstar didn't really need to be there.
That was odd. But his team just had a definitive win because they forced 3 heroes down and they forced everybody to go back. And then Artstar was like, wait for me, guys.
Looks like you lost a team fight there. Let me give you a kill. Yeah.
I think he was hoping to like catch the Phoenix on his way back or something, but...
maybe. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, Stromer was incredibly low.
I mean, even then, his positioning still like if he was gonna cut off the Phoenix, you just run straight down and try and catch him between tier 1 and tier 2.
Mag smoking up as soon as he hits 6, seeing if he can get something to happen. A kill on Dendy would be absolutely huge. Let's see if he is going to get away with it already. You have got the Shadow Demon coming down, so now if the initiation comes in.
Oh no!
No! Not what Mag was hoping for there. If he hits that, maybe he'd have a chance, but at the same time, Artstar was already there to provide a defensive disruption. So either way, maybe it wouldn't have worked out for Vega. Bottom lane, Na'Vi closing in onto no one, holding onto the crush, trying to catch the bat, but General jukes it out nicely, and with the napalm stacks building up, it's going to be another kill for this Batrider.
Look at the way that General set that up. Like, he didn't immediately run over the Slardar. He actually waited, got another sticky napalm stack, and allowed Seneko to get the right click in. And then he just kept his distance so they couldn't get two-man slithering crushed and eventually just burn the Slardar down. If he, like, fully commits to that, maybe they don't get that kill.
I mean, this Drums Batrider is so tanky.
Yeah.
He's got 1,000 HP, really good move speed, stats overall. The active allows him to escape most situations. I don't think you can bring 3 heroes anymore and kill him.
Oh, look at this, Dandy coming
this
across.
is a huge stack to steal.
Yeah, he's trying to steal as much as he can. The Acid Spray will actually end up getting the majority of them, and now Na'Vi maybe overextending. Dandy caught out by the crush, and they'll find it. Then he turns around, offers his life, trying to allow the rest of Na'Vi to get out. But Na'Vi there with a very aggressive movement. We're looking to steal that stack. At the end of the day, they don't actually take many of the larger creeps away from the Alk, and they end up giving away the SF's life.
+1.
And might even find more. Hooks in, Magic Missile, and Vega, just like that. Finding a second. So Na'Vi, off the back of a misplay, Vega quick to punish, and a nice swing there for the Radiant side.
I think if they're going to challenge like that, especially against like an offlaner that's really active in the clockwork, you need to bring more heroes over to it. At the very least, like if the Lifestealer is still going to stick around at the top lane and continue farming, that's fine, but at least we bring General to that fight much earlier.
Just feels like art style is being a little bit too over aggressive. You're still a Shadow Demon, and this hero, you don't really want to be behind with him. He's only level 4. In the last game, what I really liked is he focused so much on shutting down the offlaner, and then just switched his safe laner to the jungle, picked up his own farm. This game, it feels like he's trying to make too many moves to kind of copy what they did in the early game.
Bottom. Again, just eyes. No one, Solo's on the sideline, see if there's any kind of opening, and there will be some backup coming from Vega. Looks like Phoenix is going to make his way down to the bottom lane as well. See if they can catch any of Na'Vi out. And the Alchemist continue to just work around the jungle, which has given Dendi continuous space in the mid lane.
The one bright spot right now for Na'Vi, despite them losing a lot of the traction that they had in the early game, is that General is doing so well in this game. He's only 300 net worth behind the Lifestealer, who's had near free farm. He's got 71 CS already, and General in a position 303, perfectly fine in this game. Got 1,500 gold already. If he wants to go for that boots of travel like he did in the first game, perfectly acceptable. You've got a level 6 support already. The other 2 supports on Vega's side are hurting real bad, even after what looks like, no, they still have the tome available. Like, look at this, they can't kill him. And they're devoting 3 heroes. They just flash all 3 heroes at bottom, meaning this is a free top tower for Na'Vi.
Yeah, it was already kind of one of those situations where they're gonna try for General now, but there's a defensive play from the other Titan.
Can't do it. This guy's way too tanky, even with amplified damage. So they're gonna go again. This time they bring a 4th hero.
That Mag coming in on the clockwork, and that will be enough to seal the deal.
But I think this sacrifices maybe, yeah, this is sacrifices the tier 2 at top, especially because Dendi had a double damage.
They
Like,
TP.
So they can do anything to stop this. Na'Vi, 3 members up and very much ready to fight. And yeah, they'll be able to follow through with the committal, take down the tier 2. And Vega using a heavy amount of control of this top lane as Dendi continues to rack up the gold. FN has managed to make it himself 1,000 ahead and is 2/3 of the way into that relic. So still the progression for the Alchemist, considering the way that the early game was going, is still looking pretty good for Vega and FN.
Yeah, it's okay. It's just those kinds of trades where you had to rotate 4 heroes over make it difficult.
And I'll start with
One
the setup
raise, 2
onto
raise.
Mag. Yes, it's on point. 1 final touch with a flame break. Mag, oh, swap down. Nice save from Solo. And the Na'Vi can't chase through, and Mag gets himself away with just a slither of health.
Yeah, but, you know, just keep repeating this phase. Na'Vi will get yet another tower. They're just like finding the right kind of rotations. Dendi with that double damage up to the top lane. No matter what happened there, like they were gonna push the clockwork off a lane. He had to TP out, and then that means that they put pressure on the tier 1. Now, if Vega Squadron go for the contest, it's gonna be a hard fight because they're going into a Lifestealer who's already inside a creep and didn't have his armlet at that time, but he was at least pretty farmed. And then if they go for the trade-off at bottom, well, they just can't do that because they're pushing into a Batrider that's extremely farmed. Like, no matter what, that was going to be an efficient trade-off for Na'Vi. The only thing they aren't controlling is FN's Alchemist, but that's just kind of expected. They're taking everything else on the map except what the Alchemist is doing, and it means overall it's a team win, even if FN is getting ahead in net worth.
Right now, this bottom tower going to go down. Not a very important tower to Vega, but they've lost a lot of control on the map. It's not just the bottom tower that matters, it's the fact that they were also able to get the tier 1 in mid. They're going to smoke up.
They are going to catch General, jumping straight in onto the bat. Defensive disruption will buy time for Na'Vi to come back in with the backup. But General lives, jumps in fact, lassos no one, bringing it back into Na'Vi, and at the same time they've lost a second on the side. Vega losing 2 off the back of a smoker, but just unable to kill the bat thanks to Artstyle's presence with the disruption.
They can go Roche if they want right now.
Yeah. That was one of the big things, right? They were taking so much map control that inevitably one fight means they can take Roche with an SF and a Lifestealer.
I sort of think Dendy should grab his level 10, but they're going to go for it anyways. They think that speed is faster.
Why do you think he's going BKB so early? Is it just threat of a clockwork?
Yeah, you always go BKB on SF. Like, the build hasn't really changed. Because you have to understand that Vega don't have anything that'll go through his BKB ulti, with the exception of the Venge swap, but you don't really want to commit solo like that.
He'll just, especially with the BKB, he'll just re-up it again, even if the swap stops the ult. So they give Tendi the ult, or the Aegis. And yeah, I mean, they just keep 5-manning, right? Like, they could just 5-man to tier 2 at bottom. They could take the rest of these objectives.
I don't know if straight up 5-manning is the play, just because you're going to lose out on a lot, and Vega, then if you show all 5 heroes at once, you're not going to be afraid to farm. Like, Vega will use that time to catch up. So what's better to do is what Artstyle's doing right now, denying ward vision and just making it hard for Vega to farm anywhere. And you want to put them in a position that they were in the previous game when they're playing Radiant, right? Where only one hero can farm at any given time, which is FN. So once again, this game, it's a direct repeat.
I was going to say, it's kind of looking towards FN to carry this one, at least at this stage for Vega, in your eyes.
Yeah, I think they have to have a similar performance, but yeah. The good news for Vega is that their side heroes are a lot more useful than they were in the last game. Phoenix, no matter how underfarmed you are, is almost always going to be one of the more effective supports in the game.
Particularly sitting behind 2 strength cores, Slaughter and the Alchemist, just means that effective HP of the heal, all the better. Na'Vi are gonna bully down this tier 2. They're leaving still Seneko in the mid lane, so they don't trade objectives. They can have a TP in if Vega get a little bit too far forward, or Seneko finds the right kind of clap, which he just did.
Well, and there we go. Solo swapping out no one, but he's brought back up by Seneko's ult. Seneko looking to chase down Solo, and it looks like Venge won't have any escape herself. The rest of Vega just bailing, so Na'Vi be sure to clean this one up. So I'm just trying to make them pull away from the position they want to get back in after the kill, but Na'Vi nonetheless get themselves another and continue to just look in a really good position. You know, 16 minutes in, they've got so much control of the map, and just across the board that, you know, the 3 cores in comparison to Vega's are in a much better position.
Yeah, you notice, by the way, that they're not going for the straight up 5-man because you can't. You just don't want to. You want to take this time to just scare Vega. The best way to put it is, you know, you're in a screwed position where you think Na'Vi are everywhere, so you're not willing to farm anywhere. You keep them in a constant state of fear, keep them guessing. Anytime you show us 5 though, what it's going to signal to Vega is, okay, FN, these are the 4 or 5 camps that you can now farm for free. Don't allow that. So now they go for the scan on FN. They're going to go for another maneuver rather than just going for the straight up push. They see Sioma. And they're going to send an Artstyle over to check. Maybe even baiting General with this, but they don't want to allow these heroes to just continue to farm.
FN make it found out here by Artstyle that do have heroes around. He's going to try for the TP, but Artstyle immediately cancels it with the disruption. More moving in. General's there with a Lifestealer inside him, and FN, he's the hero they're looking to win this game for them, and he's going to go down. Na'Vi finding a huge pick. General, he's even got eyes to see if he can find anything more out of this, but Mag, a little bit too speedy, but I mean, movements like that and catching FN on the Alchemist, that is really kind of what Vega have been holding on to keep them in this game. They can't afford to lose him.
Yeah. In a game like this, it's not really about denying or going for tower pushes, because you know with the type of advantage you have and the heroes and items you have, you're going to grab those towers eventually anyways. The bigger thing is create this sense of fear, make it difficult for Vega to leave their base. You do that once or twice to the Alchemist, he's not going to venture that far out into the jungle, even when you're not pressuring that far in.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And there we have it. Just 18 minutes in, and Vega's last tier 2 to fall. Na'Vi definitely with superior control on this game at this point. I mean, how do Vega look to kind of slow down the pace and turn it around? Is he going to come to the high ground pushes from Na'Vi, or at the same time are Na'Vi not going to feel too pressured to go too gun-ho?
Kind of just wait for mistakes.
Yeah.
Again, you're not in a scenario where you can, with real confidence, take full 5 versus 5s. You just got to wait for the right kind of opening. Maybe the Clockwork finds somebody in the wrong position. Not the SF anymore, but maybe he could just find a support or something. Otherwise, don't think Vega Squadron can really do much, but just hope that FN continues to be able to farm whatever creep waves he's getting, get the neutrals, and that he can outcarry, which is unlikely. Just because Na'Vi have the double core of both Lifestealer and SF, we're going to be a lot more functional.
Yeah, Ra right now, just topping inside this Black Dragon, understands like, yeah, you guys aren't doing anything. You're just gonna safely farm. Everybody on his team is farming right now. Everyone's really happy on Na'Vi. They're cool, calm, and collected. Seneco's gonna pick up a hand of Midas. You're just like, I want to get so far ahead of your carry Slardar that he can't really do anything. Like, this kind of net worth on a support is fairly unbelievable. And even though they weren't able to claim any high ground or anything like that, grabbing every single tier 2 tower and pressuring the Alchemist is a really good Aegis expenditure.
I mean, considering the Alchemist, how much of a ticking time bomb are Na'Vi on? If it does go on, are they always going to be safe because of that dual core, or will there be a point where the Out can just maintain stability of the game and allow Vega to get to the point where they can turn it around, or did Vega just not have the draft to ever be able to do that?
I think with
maybe 35 minutes or something.
Yeah,
It's the problem is that the later the game goes and the Alchemist becomes bigger, certain heroes do drop off, like the Clockwork.
On top lane, looking for a free pick up onto Snake. Actually gets the ball up there. Rocket Flare will finish it.
Nailed him.
Yeah, it's a good job that Mag had that one on point.
that would
Okay,
have been sick.
now just kind of try and pick up the pace. Don't lose Yoma. Oh my god, he got lassoed mid-dive!
Oh, Dendy! Just popping the ult. He's got an arcane rune. Why not?
There's no reason to have to
do it
do
in
that.
style. You know what I mean?
Dendy didn't have to use the ulti. I think he just got antsy from not
He
having
wants to
used
be
it.
But he
flashing.
did.
Oh, if they can get FN here as well, Na'Vi looking for the chase
I
down.
don't have lasso. Let's.
Oh, Artstar has been caught out there on the side, still continuing to chase. With the open wounds bantered off, FN will be able to get himself back up.
Yeah,
The
without
high
the
ground.
lasso, they just don't have the disables because open wounds isn't
Yeah.
effective enough because he's got Manta.
Can't hate Dendy for popping that ultimate. It looked really cool.
It did look good.
You gotta have some stylish moments.
Yeah, I don't think they had too much vision of the rest of the Vega Squadron heroes. Maybe he was a little bit afraid that there was going to be some other players of Vega Squadron coming in. Who knows, maybe even the Supernova successfully goes off. Better be safe than sorry.
Vega, though, they're in almost an identical position where you just send out your Alchemist to farm. Nobody else is meant to really do anything in this game except wait for this guy to get big. And I mean, FN was a complete boss in that last game. If there's anybody
Absolutely.
that can do it, it's going to be him.
Hard to do it though this game, right? Slark has so many mechanisms to be able to stay alive while he's trying to farm. This time around, the Alchemist, not as many options.
I mean, Alchemist is really annoying to play against.
Yeah.
Like, once he grabs Octarine, you played against a Cap. He just runs around,
Dendy, yeah,
toss stuff at him.
Very
sorry,
far
Knight.
out, blinks back, tries
got
to
the
get
bash!
bash through the BKB, the hook shot as well. Vega dispatching of Dendy very nicely there, as Dendy with that movement maybe getting a little bit too confident
Is under
for his
attack.
own good, and Vega quick to punish.
That was really greedy, considering the rest of his team smoked off to go to the southern half of the map, and he was showing like that. That's just him being. a
Oh
little
no,
bit-
and jumping onto an illusion as well. Na'Vi slipping up a couple of times in quick succession there to Vega's Obviously, happiness.
One death from Dendi and just a little bit of space, and all of a sudden FN, who was only 2k ahead, is nearly 5k ahead.
The Octarine's coming. The infinite chemical rage, the constant Manta style pushes. They're still keeping up a pretty healthy net worth lead on the rest of their heroes over Vega Squadron. As Blitz said, the Vega Squadron heroes, they're able to do more with less farm than the squad that they had last time. Heroes like Phoenix are quite good at it, but at the same time, heroes like Clockwork are only going to be able to do so much in the first 35 minutes of game. After that, they just become kind of a nuisance more than anything else.
Na'Vi into the Roche pit. Vega, they themselves not really in a position to contest this. Na'Vi with the speed that they can do it as well. It will now get spotted out by the rocket flare, but no way that Vega can get themselves over in time. So Aegis will be going the way of Na'Vi. Back into Dendi's pocket. And already TP's up top just to stop this push that Mag was trying to get going up here.
Do you push high ground, Blitz, if you're Na'Vi? Because, you know, you're a little bit concerned about where the Alchemist is going and such. You have that in your head, that you want to go high ground with the advantage that you have.
Maybe after they kill Solo.
Not well, Solo gets disrupted up. General uses the blink to juke out the magic missile. They'll now try for the chase down. Demonic Purse drops and into the face of the bench. Suneko Stapler comes. I'll take him down. Dendi eyes onto FN. Does need a bit of backup. The rest of the team are moving around. Dendi, he's got to play with FN, kind of keep him interested, but FN already realizes that something fishy is going on and he's just trying to get himself as far away from it all as possible into the tree line. He's going to go for the TP out, and it's, smart moves again from FN, just making sure that the whole attention of Na'Vi that gets drawn down here is to no avail and they can't kill this Alchemist.
So you think it's more about opportunity than an item pickups?
I'm trying to look at what items that you're going to get on Na'Vi, and I don't think there's anything fairly significant that you can grab next that would just prompt an immediate push. Yeah, like it's going to come with the next set of items after that, if it even gets to that point. So, Vega's not in the worst position. They can continue to just delay this game with this Alk pushing out waves. Eventually, the Slaughter is going to catch up.
Start trying to open up here onto FN. They'll get the follow last
Nice
Solo,
swap.
immediately swapping him out. Solo with the saves. Ditcherard continues to chase down. Ditcherard just turns up and rips the Alchemist to pieces alongside Solo. Oh my goodness. I'd say that was an insane amount of damage coming out. Trying for a supernova, but that's more like a super no. And Vega, maybe even losing more here as it's all falling to pieces. Triple kill for Ditcherard. The buyback will come out from no one, but Na'Vi playing that fight absolutely perfectly. Vega just seemingly making mistakes and throwing bodies in one by one.
Natural Order is one hell of an ability. Damage of the lifesteal looks really impressive when nobody has any armor.
Yeah, DR just 4-shot FN. Yeah, I was like, oh, Vega's
It's
okay.
all good.
And then they just get caught out, and I was like, all right. That swap's not enough. The Clockwork wasn't there. Like, they just weren't prepared for that fight is the biggest thing. They kind of did their own thing. Everybody was splitting up. The bottom push comes in. Na'Vi just absolutely demolished Vega.
It's got to be very, very scary for Vega now. I mean, still FN at the top of the net worth, but as an Alchemist, you ideally want to be more than 2.5k ahead of the enemy SF at 26 minutes in. I mean, Na'Vi, a set of racks down that they've just been able to take, and I guess the question is, when do they just go for a push like this again? Or is there really just Na'Vi feeling super comfortable with the state of the game at this point?
You're up a set of racks. I think you can just play on cruise control, and like Cap said, there's no real item timings that you're waiting for. You're just waiting for opportunities like that to arise. That kind of stuff is just gift wrapped. Like, you can't expect that kind of engagement to happen often. They even used the buyback on the Slardar. I think he died twice, but
Hard style.
He's going in onto Mag, but Vega are there to beat down on the SD. Do they can get themselves anything else? Na'Vi being careful on the side of this fight. Suneko just using the stomp to hold Vega to the side. General is coming around behind them. Yeah, it looks like they don't really want to run into this one with a man down like that.
It's needless.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of fighting 4 versus 5? If you're going to just, defend around your tier 2 or something, which Vega Squadron are not going to go for. They know the Shadow Demon isn't that big of a pickup. General,
Still hanging around, still got a bit of duration on the Firefly. Solo's going to try and find him, but the blink out for General is there.
Gosh, the
Jukes the crush out. He's going to be A-okay. Oh, Bessie.
No one's gonna TP back without his shoes. Oh my
Goodbye,
God.
Solo. Yeah. That's another one here for Ditcher. Mega kill streak now on the Life Stealer. But I mean, Na'Vi certainly stepping up the star points in this game.
That was so cool. I can't even believe that he was able to get that off, and they might even get another pick off.
Oh,
FN's getting gone on.
Yeah. He's got to get himself away from this one. And General now turns up. Here we have it, just holding FN in place as Artstyle teasing the Alk in front of his face. Oh my goodness, here 18 to 12, Na'Vi. They've really got the ball rolling at this stage, and it just seems that Vega have no way of stopping it.
I mean, you've got this poor Alchemist who's supposed to solo carry the game, but he's facing up against a Lifestealer who rips him to shreds in that high HP. You've got a lot of minus armor between the Shadow Fiend as well as the Natural Order. And
hello, swap onto Ditcher, shut back out by the teammates. Oh, hook shot. And I don't know what that was reaching for.
one of the biggest anti-carry abilities of all, Soul Catcher. It just makes it so even a Shadow Demon Batrider can kill the Alchemist, who's at 17k net worth.
That was pretty incredible that just the two of them were able to do it, but man, General has been an absolute monster this game. 3-1-13, that move at top was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was getting sandwiched on, like, in a circle, he was getting sandwiched, and he stood in the very center of it, waiting for his Blink Dagger to come off cooldown, and then blinks away, and then juking the Slithering Crush was obviously amazing as well. I mean, this is the kind of plays that you can make when you're really feeling far ahead, and you've got control of the game, you've got vision, you just start looking better and better.
Na'Vi probably waiting on the next Roshan before they make their move. I think this is going to be what enables them to go for the high ground, and with the second set of Rex down, I don't know if Vega is going to be able to come back after that. This first set of Rex, you can just always send FN to push out, but it's not like this is their game plan to have FN play 1v5 and hope that an Alchemist can do anything.
Here we have a Na'Vi coming in, General. Looking for the lasso. FN will be able to keep himself back.
Radiant's middle tower has
Tier
fallen. 3
down, Na'Vi. Still just playing it safe. I want to make sure that they don't mess up at all here. This one final push away from securing themselves in the grand final here at ESL One Frankfurt. And Vega kind of in their last legs here. They need nothing less than a miracle really to turn this one around.
Control. Get Scotty if you want to. They've just got the pipe. Get the second Aegis of the game. There's a very clear game plan for Na'Vi. They just don't need to get too anxious. There's a heart on Ditchira, so he's
My
got
goodness.
3k HP. Vega Squadron, I don't know. Like, you have to, I guess, go out and fight for Roshan. Like, it's got a very clear disadvantage, but you also just can't wait and let Na'Vi get more.
Oh,
and more.
if it's top.
General and Artstyle coming in. The two of them will be toying around with FN. And just look at this. SD and Bat just killing off this Alchemist, who's now dead for 75 seconds. I mean, the early bots purchase from Artstyle was absolutely brilliant in this game, so he could get himself in with these fights. I mean, just the fact that these two heroes are killing your 18k net worth out, that's insane.
When I first saw that item on Artstyle, I was like, is he holding those for somebody? But I was like, no, those are actually his boots of travel, and to see exactly why.
I mean, we're now out for 50 seconds. You're 18k of your team's net worth down the pan. It's literally half of the team's value if you do the maths, pretty much. Just under half, about 40%. But this huge differentiation now on the map, and Na'Vi ready to poke at the racks. And we'll see what Vega can do with this 30 seconds without the Alchemist.
Are under attack.
Give him the frenzy.
Give him the frenzy. I think Didyara was like, why am I still in this thing?
Radiant's middle
With a
barracks
frenzy, man.
are
Dude, he's got Echo Saber
He
Deso.
really loves dragons.
Alright, this might just be mega creeps before anybody responds. You gotta fight now if you're Vega.
Fortification will come out. Na'Vi looking very dominant in this performance here, game 2.
Do or die.
Final set of racks now exposed. Vega Squadron needs to move in, they'll jump in the crush. Supernova committed as well. Hook shot it forward, but actually gets pulled by the creep. They'll still get the corpse onto Dendy. They've taken down the egg though, and Navi moving in for more solo. Will swap Noah back in. The Requiem comes through. They've taken 3. GG, well played. Will be called, and Navi will be your second grand finalist today.
One hell of a back and forth game number 1, but Navi very clearly showing who is the dominant team here in game number 2. They deserve to be in the grand finals.
Yeah, that was very clean by them. That first initial fight went so much their way that Vega was never really able to recover. They got a few kills after that fact, but couldn't really catch up in any phase of the game. And for me, standout player this game, General and Art Style, those two were able to just create absolute chaos throughout the map.
Absolutely, but SD Batrider attack